Alright, so I think I'm able to hold up. Alright, so I'm just gonna talk through my broadcast dude. Anyways, I'm kinda just playing just to play low key, but alright, give me a second. I mute everybody on this hand. Anyways, I want to say that PC is not as difficult as console on Rainbow Six Siege, and a lot of people are gonna be like, oh hey, but PC players are better than controller players, because if you take a M&K player and you have them face a controller kid, the M&K kid's gonna beat him. Okay, but with that same logic, if you take the M&K player and you stick him on a controller against the actual controller player, the original controller player will beat the M&K guy. You cannot directly compare a fucking player based off of, or like head to head. It has to be an even playing field. Like we've all been to science class. If you have different like if you put something, alright, if you're trying to run a test and you want to see if there's different results, like you have to run the same like steps, but you have to tweak like one thing. You can't just change the whole entire process. And that's where I'm kind of getting at, I guess. Also, I think my teammates are throwing on this, but this is my side account. I really don't care about it. But real talk, like I feel like PC players, yes, they are more skillful, and a lot of the times they are like individually better than a controller player. But you cannot compare a PC player and a controller player straight up. You have to say, oh hey, what happens if the M&K player was on console, or if the console player was actually on PC? Like you can't just go head to head and be like, oh hey, M&K can beat a controller kid. Well, yeah, that's easy to say because M&K is easier to use. Just because you can beat a controller player doesn't mean it's fair, equal, or harder to do. It's easier to do because it takes less skill. Using a joystick to aim is a lot more difficult than using a mouse to aim. Running on 200 FPS is a lot easier to play on than 60. Yes, PC has advantages, but console players use what they have and they exceed the expectations with what they have. Take a actual PC player, have him run on 60 FPS, and see how good he plays. Especially if he's used to playing on 200 FPS. They will not want to play. They're gonna be like, oh no, the FPS is too slow. Like you can't judge based off of head to head. You have to compare it in an equal standpoint.
Op 4, last stop standing. Swapping mags. Op 4 has located a bomb. Swapping mags. eliminated. Mission successful.
But anyways, getting back to my point, like you can't compare PC players to MNK players, or no, you can't compare console players to MNK players. There's two different platforms. Like, if you take a PC player and you stick them on 60 FPS, they're gonna be a totally different person than who they were on 200 FPS. They'll still have the same IQ, but it's gonna be a different play style. They can't play the same under different conditions. That's like taking a controller player and putting them on PC. They can't play as good as they were on controller because it's a different condition. It's a different environment. They're not used to the situation. Like, it's totally different. Analog sticks are way harder to aim on than a mouse. Although controller players, it's easier to move on, like mechanically wise, than it is like a keyboard.
Ready for company.
So it goes hand in hand, but at the same time, like, you can't judge, like you can't compare it head to head. Straight up, you can't. I mean, you can, but you can't. Like, it's not going to be an accurate representation
a bomb location has been compromised.
of where you're trying to get
remaining. 5 seconds and counting.
Like, even commentators have said, oh hey, using M&K on console is kind of scummy. Because you're using a advantage to have an advantage, making the game easier for you versus a controller player.
Remaining.
Of course, people TK and fucking, yes, I love it.
Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated.
But anyways, you get what I'm saying. Hopefully. Also, I'm playing with Smurfs on console, by the way. Like, I'm on a side account just fucking around, just doing whatever. And literally, people are just sweating and just throwing. Like, I don't get it. But anyways, you guys see what I mean. I'm just mad because people, like, I don't understand people. How do you compare console to PC? You can't. PC is way easier to play against on a controller because on controller it's a lot harder to aim, making it more skillful if you can land your shots. It takes no skill to use your entire hand to aim. I mean, okay, my bad. I shouldn't say it takes no skill. It does take skill,
the bomb.
yes, but it takes less skill.
Locations are secure. You will be detected if you remain in this area. Spotted by hostiles, fall back.
anyways, like, I don't get it, man. Like, people just aggravate me, bro.
Enemy drone is coming in for a scan. Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend it.
Like, it just don't make no sense.
Enemy drone is moving into position for scan.
Like, people cheat in console siege and they ain't never gonna get a man, bro. Like literally, the doc says Shirley's smurfing, and literally he's running a straight back. So is the bandit. The bandit's running a straight back. Like, listen to his gun. Listen to the gun. It's a straight back. And if you don't know what a straight back is, it's pretty much a fully automatic one-tab option weapon. Or like you can hear it. It's on one tab, but it fully autos. And it allows him to have no recoil. He's smurfing with a modded, like a modded hack client or whatever. That's what that is. So yeah. It's stupid. It's stupid. This is why I went to PC, so I didn't have to deal with cheaters. Anyways, like, this is, like, it's kind of just a rant at this point, bro. But, like, honestly, you see what I mean. Like, console is a fuck fest of nothing but cheaters in this goddamn game. Okay, PC is the same thing, but it's a different type of cheating. Like,
we need to locate
on console, it's M and K versus controller players, and they're using a advantage to win, or they're using a straight pack, which is a no recoil, rapid fire controller mod, a controller mod, and pretty much that's what that is. Like, they're using something that takes less skill so they can win games. And that's all consoles use. And people are gonna be like, oh hey, but PC is harder to play on. I'm not saying PC is less IT.
5 seconds.
I know PC players in Pro League are like super like big brain and IQ'd and that sort of stuff, but like at the same time, like some controller players, like, they have big brains too. Like they can outsmart people, but like they just mechanically may not perform as well as a keyboard and mouse player or a PC player, because it's a lot harder to use a controller. Like, yes, people will be like, oh hey, but champion on console, it would be like a gold on would be like a gold or silver on PC. Well, a champ or a diamond on PC would be a like copper or like a silver, like on controller, because they're not used to controller. Like sure enough, like you can't compare the two. It's non-comparable. It just don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense.
Op 4 last stop standing. You located a bomb.
Like
Op
it
4
just don't make no
eliminated.
sense.
Friendly mission successful.
I don't get it. Like, so yeah. Like, look at that, man. Like, look at it. It's stupid. Anyways, that's my rant, man. I'll catch you guys with an actual video sometime in the future. Like, console siege just isn't. That's not the play. It's not, and people need to realize that it's different. I'm on my side account that I've done because I don't want to play on my main. My main has nothing but cheaters, and I have this side account to just fuck around on. I'm not. I don't take this account serious. My main account is a Plat 3, and I duo queue with my friend. But yeah. Anyways, that's that. I'll catch you guys later.